So mold and cell towers are not the only toxic emergency in the school that needs immediate attention. The water in Prince George's County schools has unsafe levels of lead. I've been talking about this now for over a year. But I'd like to give you some history. This is the list of hundreds of water fountains that have lead levels from 20 to 10,215 parts per billion. That's 10,215 parts per billion of lead in the water, and parents were not informed. According to this letter that I was sent, I have done so many public information requests, so many letters at this point. Now, supposedly, these fountains have been turned off, but there are dozens and dozens of water fountains and sources that are still on that have unsafe levels of lead in them. And that is documented in the hundreds of pages of lead test reports that I got through a Public Information Act. The information being told to parents and staff is not only misleading, but it's false, as I documented and sent to you in my most recent letter. The water is not safe. Lead poisons the brain, and this is an emergency. Again, dozens of water sources are on, which have lead levels that would not be allowed in DC public schools. DC public schools has a lead limit of 1 parts per billion. We are using a lead limit of 20, but we last tested 7 years ago. So, and now I've been told that for new construction, it's going to be a lead limit of 10. That would be 10 times what Washington, D.C. public school uses. And it seems to me the only reason that now there's a plan is because of the reporter that interviewed the county. So I did a blog called Lead in PGCPSwater.blogspot.com. That's lead in PGCPSwater.blogspot.com. I have put all of these documents so that the public can be aware of what's going on. I'd like to also point out, in addition to what Ms. Wright was discussing, that there were high levels of carbon dioxide found in District Heights, which was not told to the parents, and I would be extremely curious to know what the carbon dioxide levels are in many of the schools. There was a Harvard study that's just out, also backed up by a Berkeley study, that found carbon dioxide levels have a negative impact on decision making. They refer to it as a pollutant on its own. So I think that testing should be done for all the schools on that as well. And again, to add in, you know me here talking about cell towers for years. I also created a website and a blog. You can go to safeschoolspg.org. That's safeschoolspg.org to see all the documents about the Milestone, Prince George's County public school cell phone deal that have been withheld from the public. So I ask for transparency moving forward. Thank you.